This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
We are waking up in a weather alert this morning as we brace for some severe storms headed our way. We're going to take a live look right now at Arnold, where things seem very calm right now, but as you can see a little bit there, the roads are glistening, which means they are wet. Good morning. It is Friday, March the 31st. I'm Randy Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. And of course, to keep you safe this morning, we do have some team coverage from around the bi-state. Our Paul Cook is keeping an eye on the roads, while our Mercedes McKay is live in the storm tracker with an update on road conditions.
But first, let's start with our meteorologist, Mr. Anthony Slaughter in the Weather Center. He is timing out the storm. Anthony?
Yeah, good morning, guys. So we have been talking about this system for several days now, so hopefully it's not a surprise by now. We have already had a little bit of rain and thunder overnight, but nothing severe. The next round of storms will develop along this cold front that's out in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, and that still is several hours away. So right now, in the short term, you still have damp roads because of the rain that has already come down, but it is moving away from us out towards Effingham, Flora, down towards Carbondale, even a few lingering light showers in Farmington. But St. Louis Metro has dried out, and we will stay dry until the early afternoon when supercells are expected to develop. These could put down some heavy rain, but also a fast-moving tornado or two, and even the potential of damaging gusty winds and hail as large as golf balls. So today's one of those days you really want to make sure you are weather aware. When thunder roars, we always say it, go indoors. So we'll time this out and take a deeper dive into it coming up. In the meantime, let's head over to Paul Cook, who is tracking the area roadways. Paul, what's the very latest?
Well, thank you, Anthony. Not too much slip sliding around yet out there, but we do have two incidents that seem to be a little pesky, hanging out just a little bit longer than I would have expected. This is 70 westbound at Adelaide. Only one lane gets through right there if you're leaving the city. Of course, lots of traffic coming into the city. And then 67 or Lindbergh up here at Taylor. We're dealing with some incidents. I want to pull on over to what's going on in the west. We're moving very, very well. We had been really bogged down there yesterday. Just something to know. Leave early. If you get out of here before 6:30, you should be just fine. Okay, Mercedes McKay is in Storm Tracker, getting some valuable intel on the roads this morning.
Hey, Paul, the roads are looking pretty good right now. I'll just go straight to what we are seeing. We are on 70 westbound coming up on Bryan Road, and the roads are pretty much dry at this point. If you are heading out for your morning commute, heading to work, wherever you may be going, still drive slow. There still could be some slick spots here and there, but the roads are pretty dry. Really big difference from when I was here at 4:30 this morning when we had that heavy downpour of rain, but it's looking pretty good. So we like to see it this way. And since the worst of the storm is projected to hit today, you still have time to get prepared ahead of it. So here are some tips from the Red Cross to keep in mind. Put together an emergency preparedness kit that has everything you and your family would need if you lose power for a couple of days. Watch for storm signs. If you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be in danger of lightning. If a severe thunderstorm warning is issued, take shelter in a substantial building or vehicle with the windows closed. Get out of mobile homes that can blow over in high winds. Now, since there is a tornado threat today, here are some things to keep in mind. Make sure you know this difference. A tornado watch means a tornado is possible. A tornado warning means a tornado is already happening or will happen soon, so go to your safe place immediately. Now, identify a safe place in your home where everyone can gather during a tornado, like a basement or interior room on the lowest floor with no windows. If you are in a high-rise building, pick a hallway in the center of the building. And if you are in a mobile home, choose a safe place in a nearby sturdy building. Now, I've been checking the Ameren outage map all morning long. Really easy to do if you just go to Ameren.com if you're worried about your power outage at this point. It's looking really good. It's gotten better throughout the morning. The most I've seen is south of St. Louis near Afton. There are a couple hundred around that area, but those are looking pretty good at this point. I'll have much more coming up in the next half hour of tips to keep you and your family safe ahead of today's weather. Live in the Storm Tracker, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Mercedes. Be sure to have the 5 on your side app downloaded to your smartphone. We will send alerts as the storm rolls into the bi-state area. It's free inside of your app store.
Well, for the first time in American history, a former U.S. president is facing criminal charges. A New York grand jury voted to indict former President Donald Trump yesterday. And Alex Fees is live in St. Louis with more on what comes next and also new reaction from overnight. Good morning, Alex.
Michelle, good morning. This historic indictment comes on a case centered around $130,000 in payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. This came in the closing days of the 2016 presidential campaign just before Trump won. Now, overnight reaction comes from Missouri and Illinois lawmakers. Republican U.S. senators call it a, quote, political prosecution in search of a crime and, quote, an assault on our democracy. On the Illinois side, Senator Dick Durbin said political violence or threats of violence cannot be tolerated. This morning, Thursday's indictment is still under seal, so we don't know what charges Trump will face exactly. After the news broke yesterday, Trump released a statement saying he is completely innocent. Trump's lawyers released a statement saying they will, quote, vigorously fight this political prosecution in court. A St. Louis University law professor says it's not clear the former president committed a crime.
Well, I think this is going to be a big political circus. If they try to link this to a federal election law crime, the judge might say there's nothing here. It could go fast. If it's a misdemeanor, it might just be a fine.
Now, the former president called the historic indictment against him, quote, an attack on our country. Trump is first scheduled to appear in court on Tuesday. Coming up in our next half hour, the people have their say. Live this morning in St. Louis, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
All right, thanks so much, Alex. We also just want to mention this is a story, of course, making headlines across the world. The Today Show is closely following this indictment, and we'll have an interview with one of President Trump's attorneys. You can watch it right here on 5 on your side, starting at 7 o'clock this morning.
All right, let's get back to our weather coverage and update you on our weather alert. We are expecting supercells to develop this afternoon. In fact, the first round of thunderstorms this afternoon may come as early as lunchtime, 1 o'clock. And the consistency with this particular cell has been pretty spot on for it to move into Bowling Green, parts of Carrollton and Jerseyville north. Then after that, once we get into 4 o'clock, the attention turns to more activity that becomes a little more widespread. You can see by 5, 6 how we'll have several storms, supercells on the map, and these could put down heavy rain along with golf ball sized hail, and even a fast moving tornado is possible as well. Once we get into 7, 8 o'clock, the line starts to form across the Illinois side, and that's when our attention will turn more towards damaging winds. So all of the severe weather risks are on the table today, so make sure you have a plan in place now and be ready to act fast as those storms roll through later. We have another round of stormy weather for next week. We'll update you on that 7-day in just a few minutes.